If you've taken extended time away from work to care for your children, you may already know that moms can face a lot of judgment and skepticism when we return to work.
When it came to applying for jobs, a lot of the time they focused on the gap, and that's soul destroying.
People questioned my skills and thought I wasn't up to date.
This is largely because of something called maternal bias. Decades of research shows that many people incorrectly assume mothers are less committed to work and less competent than others. Taking time off for caregiving draws attention to the fact that you're a mom, which often makes maternal bias even stronger. Research shows that when mothers return to the workforce after a break, we may be offered lower salaries or pushed into lower status jobs, even when we have the same skills as other applicants. To be clear, none of this should stop you from taking a break. You should do what feels right for you and your family, regardless of what anyone else thinks. But it is important to know how to counteract maternal bias when getting back into work. Here are 5 strategies you can use. First and foremost, know your worth. If you find yourself doubting your skills or worrying that you've been out of the workforce too long, stop and challenge that narrative. Make a list of your biggest accomplishments. Ask people you've worked with to describe the unique value you bring to a team.
What I did to get my confidence going back was really around talking to my support group of friends. It turned out that a lot of people thought I was really competent, and that really boosted my self-confidence.
I first and foremost reached out to my Lean-In network, and that was probably the best thing that I could have done because it reminded me of my skills, it reminded me of my experience. It taught me that I'm not my gap.
To counter others' biased perceptions of your skills, tap into your professional network. Try to renew connections with people who knew you as a talented professional when you were last working. They can speak for your skills and commitment and help overcome the bias you may face. When you're ready to apply for a job, make sure you present a strong, clear narrative about your skills and passion for your work. Really own your career story and tell it in a compelling way. That leaves less room for others to make biased assumptions about your commitment and competence. One simple way to do this is to start your resume with a career summary. This is 2 or 3 sentences at the top of the page that describe your skills, experience, and ambitions at a high level. You can also emphasize your commitment and passion for your career in your cover letters and interviews. Part of owning your story is being transparent about your career break. Research shows that if you're upfront, you're more likely to be hired. And remember that taking time off is not something to apologize for. Make it clear that this was a positive and intentional choice. List the dates of your break on your resume with a title like Sabbatical to Raise My Daughter. In your cover letters, include a line that explains your break and then pivots to why you're enthusiastic about the role. For example, now that my children are in school full-time, I'm excited to use my marketing skills to promote a product I believe in.
One of the things I realized was that if I addressed it directly and said my career break was due to my fertility journey and due to motherhood, no one was surprised by that. No one was, no one seemed to judge me negatively.
As you're getting your foot back in the door, you might want to explicitly prioritize companies that value returning moms. To identify those companies, talk to former colleagues, clients, and classmates about their experiences with different employers. Their advice can help you steer clear of places where mothers tend to face a lot of bias. Last but not least, be persistent. Finding the right fit when you're returning from a career break can be tricky, but remember that you have tremendous value to offer to the right employer. And know by pursuing your career goals, you're setting an example for other women. And you're also helping to break down stereotypes about what mothers can achieve at work.